Well, today we were at Shiva's Angan. Normally you go to the Parikrama, you go to Antardweep first and then you go to it last. Because the way we synchronize with the Navhat group, they go first. The disadvantage is most of there's so many pastimes that happen with Lord Chaitanya in Antardweep, both at Lord Chaitanya's birthplace and at the house of Jayapataka. When Lord Chaitanya started the Sankirtan movement in Srivas Thakur's house, so we mentioned that there were many envious Brahmins who were done against Vaishnavism. So there was a normal change of the guard. Since Navadip was one of the largest cities in the kingdom, there were soldiers that changed their duty. So a ship pulled up and soldiers got out. Some Brahmins came over to Srivas Thakur. Srivas, it's all because of you. You and your crazy chanting of Hare Krishna has brought the kingdom's army down on us. Now they're going to arrest all the Hindus. They're going to create big problems for us. Russian translation over there. Serbian, Croatian translation here. Italian over here. Espanol aquí. Espanol. What language you speak? So then Srivas, he got worried. He locked himself up in his puja room and he started to worship Narasinghadev. Oh Narasinghadev! Ukamira Mahavishnu Radnam Sarvadom Singham Visharam Bhadram Mitim Namamyaham. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. He's offering all kinds of Nrsimha prayers. Protect us, the Hindus, because of what I've done. I'm creating so much difficulty for everyone. And actually, because Srivas is such a sincere soul, habla inglés. ¿Entiende inglés? No, sí. ¿Entiende inglés? He thought everybody that talked something to him, it must be the truth. That someone would just speculate something, tell it like it was the truth, just to be nasty. That never crossed his mind. That he was a very simple soul. So he believed these Brahmins. The Brahmins, they didn't know anything, they just were speculating. In fact, nothing was being planned by the king to harass the Hindus. But he was all afraid. He thought they knew something. He didn't know. The Lord Chaitanya came. knocking on the door. Pow, pow. Hello? Hello? Not like that, just practicing. Srivas! Srivas! The Lord for whom you are praying, the Lord for whom you are worshipping, who you are offering worship to, that Lord is here. He's here. Open the door. I'm worshipping Nrsimha. I'm worshipping Vishnu. So open the door, and there Lord Chaitanya was seated on his bed, or I forget, on his bed or Vishnu's throne. But anyway, he was with four hands, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, in form of Vishnu. Srivas was the man, he paid his obeisances. My Lord, Lord Chaitanya said, there's nothing to worry about. I told you nobody can stop the Sankirtan movement. There's nothing to worry about. Why are you so afraid? So like this, Lord Chaitanya encouraged Srivas. Nothing happened. At Srivas's house, there were different pastimes. They were having only, not everyone was allowed. This was a no-holds-barred kirtan. Ashta Satika Vikara, 8 ecstatic symptoms, everything shown publicly. But one day, Lord Chaitanya, all his associates, they gathered together. They had a kirtan. Nice kirtan. Beautiful. Where's our kirtan singers? Give us a sample of a nice kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Like that, the kirtan went on. But then after about 15-20 minutes, normally the kirtan would take off. But this time it wasn't taking off. Lord Chaitanya was complaining I'm not feeling any ecstasy. I'm not feeling any ecstasy. Whom of you is responsible? Do you? You know English? Little. What's it back? It's you. Take him and Ranga with me. Or leave it with him. Mr. Madranga man. Every devotee was so humble. They all felt guilty. In the material world, if you're accused, I didn't do anything. Why are you blaming me? Who do you think I am? Immediately get defensive, right? But here, nobody was defensive. Everyone was defenseless. What did I do wrong? Oh my goodness, I'm so offensive. I must have done something wrong. Apologetic, self-incriminating. What did I do wrong? Srivas went and looked in his house. Is there anybody in the house? He didn't see anybody. And they started kirtan again.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
I'm still not feeling any ecstasy. It's Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Somebody underneath the cartons. They're very small. Who of you is responsible why I'm not feeling ecstasy? Pundarik, welcome. What's up with you? The Prabhupada disciples who are safari veterans. Pundarik, Vidya Prabhu, right? This Pundarik, Aksha, and Anuttama Prabhu. Let's give him a big hand. We'll be giving some association to the devotees at Safari. Wonderful association. So who is it that's responsible for, I'm not getting ecstasy, said Lord Chaitanya. The Srivas, he went around. This time there was one basket upside down. He looked under the basket. It was his mother-in-law. In Hindu society, mother-in-law is highly respected. She's called mother. What are you doing here? You're disturbing Lord Chaitanya's kirtan. Grabbed her by the neck, took her to the door and threw her out. Lord Chaitanya said, who was that? I said, I don't know. You must know. I don't know, I don't recognize it. Doesn't that look like your mother-in-law? Srivas, why did you treat your mother-in-law like that? You know that you're supposed to treat your mother-in-law with respect. She's your elder. My dear Lord, my only interest is your pleasure, your satisfaction. Somebody is disturbing your kirtan. I don't know them. Your happiness is my priority. This is the mood of Srivas. What do you think of that mood? See in Maya? Anita, what's your realization? A beautiful mood. What's beautiful about it? It is the higher principle where normal social exchanges are being touched, it's not contaminated. So in spiritual life we have a different state of priorities. In the material world, being respectful to your mother-in-laws and to your material relatives, that's the order of the day. And surely, under normal conditions, Srivas was very respectful to all his relatives. Whenever became a conflict of interest, what's pleasing to Lord Chaitanya? What's for the interest of Krishna? What's for the interest of his own family? Even if he's going to have to hear about it for the next, however long. His priority was pleasing Lord Chaitanya. That's his special quality. You see that last year I wanted to take the devotees on a trip, safari, to Bangladesh. But there was so much political disturbance that everybody advised me better not. So at the last minute, we drink without touching. Give him a separate little glass. Prabhupada taught us how to drink. We can have practice sessions at safari. If that diet doesn't come out, it's staying. So, last year we went instead to Karnataka. We went to Maharashtra, to Vittala. This year I was planning that, always every third year we go to South India, but we haven't been for 6 years to Sri Rangam. And we haven't been for maybe 10, 12 years to Rameshwar. 21 kundas. And also the other, of course, Tirupati just has a new temple, so even though we went there last year, it's such a nice place that we don't miss it. So, now, Bhakti Purushottam Swami beat me to the punch. And he wants to take out some kind of a curriculum or safari tour, 6-day tour to Bangladesh. Right now it happens to be that it's very peaceful in Bangladesh. There's a caretaker government and the police are super strict. They're arresting all the political, at least for now. It's too late to switch from South India to Bangladesh. You already got everything right. Sometime ago, that was our first safaris. We're in Bangladesh. There's Pundarik Dinini's birthplace there. There's Srivas Thakur's, Advaita Gosai's, Murari Gupta's, Narottam Das Thakur, Lokanath Goswami. There's Rupan Sanatan, Haridas Thakur. Did I say that? Advaita Acharyas. Sachi Mata's, Jagannath places, and really nice preaching. We have more temples in Bangladesh than we have in West Bengal, 3-4 times over. There are like 24 temples. Only thing is, if you don't want your feet touched, you have to get swamp boots. They're very respectful to the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. They love to touch your feet. Literally, I got pushed over a few times. Like a few randoms. Pastimes are going on Srivas Anand. Now Nityananda Prabhu had come. All the Vaishnavas, grand ecstatic chanting and dancing. Nityananda Prabhu stayed at Srivas Thakur's house. He exhibited always the mood of a young boy. When he sat down to eat, he wouldn't feed himself. Acted like a young boy. Malini, Srivas Pandit's wife, would have to feed him. Open your mouth. Come on, be a good boy. Then something happened. Nityanidhi, Pundarik Nityanidhi arrived. Navati. He was a very dear associate of Lord Chaitanya, of Lord Krishna. By Krishna's arrangement, he appeared in a village of Chattogram in East Bengal. He purified the land. The Lord appeared in Navadip, but he could not find Pundarik Vidyanidhi there. He sighed heavily, feeling separation from him. One day, after ecstatic dancing, the Lord sat down and cried out, "Oh my Father! Oh Pundarik! Oh Pundarik! My Father! When will I be able to see you again? Oh Pundarik!" So much affection was Lord Chaitanya feeling for Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He revealed his intimate associate's connection by exhibiting this pastime. The devotees, they couldn't understand what was the importance of this name. Tears were pouring from his eyes. He continued to call again and again. They just thought Pundarik was one of the names of Krishna, like Pundarikaksha, lotus-eyed. But Pundarik could have, and Vidyanidhi could have many explanations. No one could understand this was a very confidential associate of the Lord. And when the Lord came out of trance, "For which associate of yours are you weeping for? Reveal to us who he is. When was he born? What does he do? Tell us, Lord, we may have good fortune to know him." You are fortunate, because the Lord said, because you want to know about him. His activities and character are most wonderful. The whole world can be purified simply by hearing his name, Pundarik. His ecstatic appearance is almost like an ordinary man. Nobody can understand him, recognize him as a pure devotee. He's a highly learned scholar, Brahmin. Strictly executed prescribed religious principles, respected by everyone. But he always floats in an ocean of nectar of love of Krishna. His body displays ecstatic symptoms like crying, quivering, fainting, etc. He doesn't go for ablutions to the Ganges to cleanse himself of sins like everyone else. Nor does he enter her waters. He avoids touching her with his feet, but he comes to see and pay respects to her every day in the evening when the teeming crowds had all gone. He couldn't bear to see people misusing the Ganges, spitting on her. You go and see people using soap and things, and not supposed to suds up on the Ganges. It's not an ordinary swimming hole. Cleaning their mouth, washing their hair, dirty clothes. Preferred to go in the evening when no one was around. Other characters should always drink Ganges water before worshipping the Lord. He wanted to give a lesson to all the puffed up scholars how great the Ganges really was. He's in Chakragram, Chittagong. But soon he'll be coming Navadip. He also has a house here. None of you will be able to recognize him. At first glance you think he's an ordinary materialistic person. I'm very anxious to see him. So all of you must endeavor and pray to bring him here very quickly. Talking about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, the Lord got into an ecstatic trance. "Oh my father Pundarik! Oh my father Pundarik!" He lamented loudly. Only he could recognize the greatness of such a pure Vaishnava. Only through his mercy can one know the wonderful, unique position of a pure devotee. When the Supreme Lord attracts a living entity, there's no way he can resist. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi came to Navadip. He came with many disciples. In Navadip he remained incognito. And everyone thought, the ordinary materialistic people thought he was a lavish materialist, attached to a life of comfort and self-enjoyment. With the exception of Mukunda, no one, Mukunda and their brother Vasudev Datta, knew about the intensity of Pundarik's love for God. Mukunda realized that he was in Navadvip. He didn't reveal to anybody who Pundarik really was. Everybody thought he was just some materialistic guy. Gadadhar Pandit and Mukunda were friends. They always were in each other's association. He said, listen carefully, Gadadhar. A very great devotee has come to Navadvip. You have been hankering for association of a pure Vaishnava. Today your desire will be fulfilled. Who wants association of pure Vaishnava? You can imagine how Gadadhar Prabhu felt. He became excited, happy, calling out, Krishna, Krishna! Krishna, Krishna!
Krishna, Krishna!
Krishna, Krishna!
Krishna, Krishna!
He went to Pundarik's house with Mukunda Prabhu. He offered his obeisances and respectfully seated. Vidyanidhi inquired from Mukunda, what is his name? What village does he come from? I can see his body is effulgent due to rendering devotional service to the Supreme Lord Vishnu. His form and demeanor are extremely wonderful. He's my friend. His name is Gadadhar. He's very fortunate. He's always been detached from family life from his childhood. His external material identity is that he's the son of Brahman Madhav Mishra. But because he's totally absorbed in devotional service, he only associates with Vaishnavas. He's extremely dear to all the devotees. When he heard about you, he was anxious to meet you. Hearing the wonderful qualities of Gadadhar Pandit, Vidyanidhi was very pleased to meet him. The great personality, Shri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he sat like a prince. His beautiful bed was made of wood, covered with intricate brass and reddish stone, inlay work. There were 3 tiers of ornamental overhangings made of glittering brocade strips. He was seated in a soft mattress covered with clean, expensive sheets, and silk pillows were placed under his back. On either side of him, many small, large water pots sat within his reach. Shining brass plate with beetle pan neatly prepared on it. 2 large, ornate mirrors hung on either side of him, which he continually glanced into while smiling with lips reddened with chewing pan. He wore a sandalwood paste tilak mark on his forehead, and his face was decorated with dots made with a mixture of sandalwood and perfume. As for his hair, it was well groomed and shining with delicately perfumed hair oil. 2 persons stood behind him, fanning him gently with long peacock feathers. In front of him there was a hammock, nicely prepared. Because he followed a life of pure devotional service, he looked as charming as Cupid himself. Those who did not know him would consider him to be a prince, as everything about him and around him gave the impression that he was a man of easy and comfortable life, given to pleasure. When Gadadhar Pandit saw these materialistic things, he became suspicious. He was a very renowned soul from his early age. Naturally, some doubts regarding Pundarik entered his heart, and he thought, what sort of a Vaishnava is he? Surrounded by such finery and lavish living. Hearing about his devotional mood, I developed great respect for this person. But now I'm seeing him, it is slowly giving way to doubt and suspicion. Who is this? So luxurious. jewels on his bed. Just think of it. A hammock, perfume, very materialistic. Mukunda could understand the tension in Gadadhar's mind. He thought, let me reveal the real nature of Pundari Vidyanidhi. By the mercy of Krishna, Gadadhar was allowed to see everything. Nothing was left unknown. In a very sweet voice, Mukunda began to sing a verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam about the glories of devotional service. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he, who granted the position of a mother to the she-demon Putana. Krishna! 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 You are so merciful. You have given Putana, the witch, the she-demon, a position as your mother, just because she faked some affection for you. So if a devotee really tries to serve Krishna with affection, then how merciful will he be? As soon as Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard devotional service glories, he began to cry. Tears of ecstatic love swelled in his eyes, rolling down his face like the streams of the Ganges. Simultaneously, all the symptoms of ecstasy erupted in his body, all the 8 at one time, like an explosion. He wept, trembled, rolled, horripilated. I guess that's shit. Roared, fell in an unconscious state of ecstasy. Gaining consciousness, he said, "Speak, speak, give me more glories of devotional service." Again he fell on the ground. He kicked everything that was around him. He was so anxious hearing devotional service glories, so knocking all the silver and golden pots and all the different pillows and curtains, everything started getting ripped up, oil flying. I have been deprived of the Lord's association in this most merciful incarnation. He rolled around and crashed down on the ground. Everyone was afraid he might break his bones. He trembled so violently that 3 persons were holding him down, but they couldn't hold him down. He kicked everything, and disciples stood helplessly, unable to control them. The storm of ecstatic love was exploding and continued until finally it just stopped. And he fell into an unconscious state of bliss. He lay down without breathing, stunned, totally submerged in an ocean of spiritual ecstasy. One verse of the Bhagavatam. Move this back a little bit. Amazed at what he witnessed, Gadadhar began to worry. What inauspiciousness has overcome me to make me think in this offensive manner? He embraced Mukunda, drenched him with tears of love. Mukunda, you have acted like a true friend. You have shown me a pure and unalloyed devotee of the Lord. It would be difficult to find another pure Vaishnava like him anywhere in the entire creation. You get pure, one can be purified simply by observing his devotional attitude. When I saw the luxurious paraphernalia, I was convinced he was just addicted to a pleasure of life, in material life. You read my mind. As the magnanimous soul revealed to me the unlimited extent of Pundarik Vidyanidhi's love for God. But I've been so offensive. The extent of my offense can only be mitigated by your mercy. Be merciful to me. Purify my heart. All the devotees who have taken to the process of surrender have to take shelter of a guide under whose instructions they act. I do not have such an instructor, so I have decided to take shelter of Pundarik Vidyanidhi and follow devotional service under his guidance. I know that I can counteract all my offenses to him by becoming his disciple. So Gadadhar Pandit revealed to Mukunda his desire to become the disciple of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was in a state of ecstatic coma for 6 hours. Gradually he returned to his normal state and sat down quietly. It was impossible for Gadadhar to control the tears of joy he felt rolling profusely down his face, wetting his entire body. Vidyanidhi embraced Gadadhar Pandit, holding him to his heart. Gadadhar was unable to sleep, overwhelmed by Pundarik Vidyanidhi's ecstatic devotion. So Mukunda told Pundarik Vidyanidhi he had some doubts and knew first when he saw everything, but now he wants to accept initiation from you. He's a renounced order, renounced devotee. Although he's young, he's mature in his spiritual realization, comes from a good family, he's always attached to the Krishna. Please, he's a qualified person to be your disciple. You are qualified to guide him. It's a good thing. Tell me when he can get your initiation mantra, your Diksha mantra. So like this, Pundarik accepted. He said that this person is like a precious gem. One tank needs the result of many lifetimes to find a disciple such as him. The coming 12th day of the waxing moon is auspicious. Come here and your plan will be successful. Mukunda Gadadhar went to meet Gaurachandra. He was happy to hear the news of Pundarik's arrival. During the night, without being seen by anyone, Pundarik left all his associates and came to the place of Lord Gaurachandra. As soon as he saw the Lord, he fell down like a rod, offering his obeisances to the Lord. He was overwhelmed with ecstatic trance. He lay on the ground, experiencing waves of joy. He began to weep, saying, "Oh my dear Krishna, you are my Lord and Father, I am a great offender. Please punish this wretch. Oh Lord, you have liberated everyone in the world. Only I have been deprived of such." Hearing his lamentation, all the Vaishnavas began to cry, knowing him to be a great devotee. Lord Chaitanya got up and embraced Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He said, "Oh my father, great Pundarik, finally I'm able to see you today." Everyone, all the devotees became aware to have the association of such an devotee, Pundarik Vidyanidhi. their eyes filled with tears. So wonderful was this scene, no pen can describe it. Lord held Pundarik Vidyanidhi in a loving embrace, wetting him with tears, understanding how dear Lord Pundarik was to the Lord, rather. Devotees, they also felt affection, respect, and a sense of closeness with him. The Lord continued to hold Pundarik Vidyanidhi very closely as if he wanted to merge with him. They were like statues. He held Vidyanidhi in his close embrace. When he came out of trance, he chanted the name of Hari and said, "He has been very merciful to me, my desires. I have met a person of my heart's desire." All began to chant together, chanting, "Govinda Chaitanya, Mukti."
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
This is Pundarik Vidyanidhi.
Hare Rama, Rama
The Lord has created him to distribute love of Godhead.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
They all began to chant, Hari Hari. Today is a special day. A wonderful thing has happened. I woke up from my sleep and my eyes beheld the ocean of Godhead directly in person. The ocean of love of Godhead. Pundarik became ecstatic. He didn't notice anyone. Then he suddenly became aware of his external surroundings and began to pay his obeisances to the Lord. Then he offered his obeisance to Jayapataka, and he offered obeisances with all the other Vaishnavas. All the devotees are floating in waves of ecstasy, thrilled to have met Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who himself is an ocean of love of Godhead. Only an extremely pious and fortunate person is able to describe this marvelous scene. Gadadhar Pandit took Vishwambar's permission to accept initiation from Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Gadadhar said, "I could not understand the uncommon behavior of this great personality, so I became disrespectful. Therefore, in order to cleanse myself of this sin, I want to become his disciple. But certainly as my spiritual master, he will exonerate me." Lord Chaitanya said, "Yes, perform it quickly." Gadadhar Pandit formally accepted initiation from Pundarik Vidyanidhi, an ocean of ecstatic loving devotion. What can I say about Pundarik Vidyanidhi's wonderful qualities? He's so elevated he can become the guru of Gadadhar. Whoever hears of this meeting between Gadadhar Pandit and Pundarik Vidyanidhi will gradually experience the highest ecstasies of love of Godhead. Haribol! Lord Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are my life and soul. Vrindavan Das offers my humble song at the lotus. Who is Pundarik Vidyanidhi? In Krishna Lila? Rishabhanu. Who would like to see his birthplace in Bangladesh? Shyamakund is there, Radhakund. Radha Krishna Gauranga deities. Birthplace temple. Within a few hundred meters is the temple of Vasudev Datta. In fact, if some foreign devotee would like to be temple president, they're looking for one. Today we have a new initiate, the special initiation ceremony. Bhrigupati and Chandravali. Chandravali. Daughter who was previously Sumukhi is now Surya Mukhi Sundari. She's right here next to you. Give her a blessing. Any questions? You see how humble Pundarikajani is, the greatest soul, but he's so humble and so fallen and no love for Krishna. He's an ocean of love for Krishna. But he's saying, I have no love. How many of you have love for Krishna? How many of you feel deprived of not having love for Krishna? We are following the footsteps of Pundarik, rolling in the ground, I need love of Krishna. He's so humble. You think when they think we're so great. I was reading in the Samadhi temple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Anyone who doesn't chant a lakh of Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the morning, the Lord won't accept any offerings from him. I'm struggling to get my 16 rounds for me. I'll have to speak at 64.
Why don't you Daniel stir? Because someone else is dead. Sometimes one was one Vichari was dead. Don't you Daniel like one was dead. In this case, third day. But it was all confused.
Yeah, she's the first case. Brahmachari came later. Because don't show these very ecstatic moods with non-devotees watching. Just with ordinary ecstasy, not super confidential ecstasy. Just chanting and dancing. The rolling in the ground and tears pouring out things. Tracy wasn't showing with people watching. So you can say this was a test of Srivas. Sometimes you put through tests to show that we're really devoted. That we're really dedicated. These things didn't happen. Who would know the glories of Srivas? It's not just some attached householder, it's not his mother-in-law and all the relatives and the chants Hare Krishna on the side. Hare Krishna is his loving life and soul. Serving Lord Chaitanya is his top priority. He did his household, did everything else, but when something was conflicting with Lord Chaitanya's service, then loyalties lied with Lord Chaitanya, not with this mundane social structure. Maybe it's not something we should imitate, but this is who Srivas was. He wasn't following some kind of rule that he mechanically was following. This was just his heart. He did what he thought was pleasing the Lord Chaitanya. People were criticizing Lord Chaitanya. They were saying he's crazy. He got so conscious about showing his ecstasies before ordinary people, they didn't understand. So then he was only chanting confidential devotees. It's like we're not also supposed to show our ecstasies. Maybe not for the same reasons. The Sahajiyas, like this was the real thing. Gadadhar saw the real loving ecstasy in Pundarik Nidhi. When you read things like that, then there's some bogus people. And they would put on a good show of ecstatic symptoms to win over disciples. Oh, such a great devotee. But it wasn't just imitation. So later it was prohibited to show your ecstasies because then other bogus people were imitating the same thing to take advantage of innocent people. There's many factors. Yes? Can't hear you. All I can hear is Mataji is asking a question.
Yeah, she's telling her husband is not Krishna consciousness. Telling about mother-in-law relatives like that. Husband is not taking Krishna consciousness. He is taking whether it will be
Whether it will be a difficulty? Sounds like it. But it's sounds difficult. Until she can make her husband a devotee. You have to pray for your husband. Give him prasadam. Sneak charna read in his teeth. I know ladies whose husband was dead against, and by her prayers, giving him prasad even if he didn't know it, eventually he said, I think Hare Krishna aren't so bad. Let me go to that Namhat program. Invite some Grihastha couple secretly that they come over to the house and just be friends with him. But don't tell him that you invited, just like they dropped in naturally. All kinds of tricks to try to somehow make him more soft to devotional service. Vrindavan, Sevaki, Sevika. Remember the Guru. They touched their feet back. Said Śrī Damodar and I think it was Advaita or Nityananda, someone, they were faced off, each trying to touch the feet of the other, like two lions engaged in warfare. Jai, Nitai Gaur.
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.